everyone. It is good to be here with all of you. Settle yourselves as the medium gets further out of the way. She was asking who was coming in, and so it's a bit of a surprise. Allow yourselves now to be bathed in the golden light of your Creator's wisdom. Open your crown chakra as wide as you can imagine your favorite flower, blooming, expanding, opening up as though to receive the rays of your sun. A gentle warmth flowing through you with this golden light. As there are many already tending to each of you. And there are many who are here to learn and observe and hear these words as well. The medium was already sensing the gallery on the other side of the veil who was in attendance. Her ancestors are there, her mother and grandparents, and likely some of yours as well, you may sense. For they are here to learn, just as you are. For as you walk in these physical forms, you learn, you grow and you expand, but even when you return to spirit, the learning never stops. It just is accelerated without the physical form to weigh you down. And so understand that no matter what may be going on in your daily lives, and you are learning and growing and expanding in consciousness through experiences, you never get it done. If you can accept that you never get it done, you always have a new growth, a new goal to set, a new desire that keeps you moving forward. It gives you, a reason, a drive, a passion, or something that you wish to achieve that you know will bring you joy. And so many have said before that life is a game, and you get to make up the rules for your particular life, how you wish to experience it. Not the rules of your world. Those are different. Those help the navigation of you all in these forms to keep you safe and from harming each other, and those are the basics, and others are just too much and will be dealt with later. But the rules that you make for your life, it may be something, this medium is saying, as simple as I read a page of a book in a day, and when you accomplish that, or even a sentence a day, you can say, I did it! I accomplished my goal. And you feel good. And you read another sentence the next day, or a page, or whatever it is, but you make it easy for yourself to win. And so you set yourself up to win. And when you do that, because many on your world are not used to winning, are you? You're used to struggle. And potentially, we don't want to say fighting, but it is like an uphill battle. The medium is seeing the image of someone in your mythology pushing the rock up the hill and gets to a certain point and it rolls back down, and it's like, why do I not quite get there? And so instead of thinking thoughts that have held you back in the past and kept you focused on limitation and what you have not yet achieved, for perhaps you sense you do not know enough, or you don't have enough information to move forward. Figure out what works for you to be a winner every day. Make it simple. Because when you realize that you are a winner every single day, how do you think you would feel? Much better, yes? And so the whole goal, remember, is to feel as good as you can every day, every moment to the next. And you get to figure out your game of life and the rules for your game of life that make you a winner all the time. So it takes a little bit of, we shall say, thinking, pondering perhaps, but it does not have to be a difficult task. Otherwise, you would not do it. The medium was thinking several mornings, the last few mornings, she watched something and it reminded her months ago. The first thing you do is you make your bed when you get out of it, because guess what? You have already achieved something. You are already a winner. And it sets the tone for your day. So if something like that works for you, it is so simple, use it. It's whatever it is something that you have accomplished. Figure out what makes you a winner every single day. And before you go to bed, congratulate yourself. Celebrate yourself. And go into your slumber with a sense of gratitude and appreciation for who you are and what you have created, because those vibrations will continue to operate in the ether, in the consciousness realm while you slumber, to line things up that are your, we shall say, are in harmony with your desires, perhaps bigger picture things. But because you're feeling good and you're just focused on, I'm always a winner and this happens and I'm so good, I'm just so amazing. Fluff yourself up, dear ones, because you are the only ones who can fluff up your own ego and congratulate yourselves for even a mundane accomplishment. Because only you know if something means something to you, because you make up the rules for what is significant in your life. And it can be as simple as, like we said, making your bed. That's it. Or straightening up a corner. It could be anything. So we will leave it to you to figure out whatever it is that you can accomplish every single day, very simply, to congratulate yourself, pat yourself on the back, and what some of you were talking about before. Yes, hug yourself and say, see, I'm so amazing. I can do this. I'm a winner. Whatever reinforces these neural pathways, because remember, dear ones, you are working on creating new neural pathways, new habits of thinking to replace old ones that you have had, for some of you, decades of limiting belief patterns because you were taught that you weren't good enough, or you couldn't win, they call you loser, or whatever. And we say, no, there is no such thing. Only if you perceive it as such is it so, and it is up to you to accept or reject someone's opinion of you. Because if you accept someone's opinion of you, then you have chosen to think the same way. No one can make you believe or accept anything about yourself, your reality, your dreams. They can influence you by their opinions, but only you make the decision to accept or reject what someone else says about you or toward you or for you or about you. Do you understand this distinction? Let it sink in, because no one, and we say this because you are responsible, 100% responsible for what is occurring in your life because of what you are thinking and focusing on and how those thoughts are making you feel. someone else that comes across your experience could try to make you feel bad. You all have had this experience, and you have all fell into the trap of allowing yourself to lower your vibration because of what someone else's perception of you is. That is their perception of reality. It is their thought processes. They do not know you. They do not know what you are thinking or how you are feeling. But when you change your vibration and feel bad, what happens? Everyone knows it. You can go from smiling to upset in an instant if you allow someone's comment or, we shall say, behavior toward you to push your buttons, as you say. Yes, you understand? So understand and hold your space, hold your vibration, and understand that you could listen to someone. You do not have to accept their opinion of you. All of you have had, reviews or sit down in potentially a job or something or whatever, where you have an annual review where you get to meet with perhaps a supervisor or a manager or someone who is part of your work or whatever, and they review your progress from the previous year. Yes, do you understand? What happens when they have a criticism? Most people blush, get shy, get upset. Criticism is someone's opinion of you. You can stay neutral, listen to the words and see if any of it resonates true for you. If some of it does ring true for you, then you take action to improve yourself. But there is no need, unless you allow yourself to feel less than, to react that way. But it has been a pattern in your world because you have been programmed that if someone makes a comment on your behavior, your work or something like that, anything that has to do with what you're working on, what you're accomplishing, a project, that sort of thing, you immediately self-judge and turn negative on yourself. And we say, why is that? You did not teach yourself that, did you? That was a learned reaction. Because it has been programmed into you from childhood, where perhaps a teacher said you weren't good enough, or you were not smart enough compared to some other student. So, as a child, and this medium is thinking of an instant, and we will share it in a minute because she has never shared this with any of you, and she did not remember it for many years. But when children, cannot say perhaps 10, 11, something like that, they may grow out of it, but the young ones do not have their brain development to rationalize until they get older. And so they don't understand that an adult who is a teacher or usually someone in authority, can also be a parent or an older sibling, someone that they perceive in authority, they give them power over them because they look up to them, yes, but they think they know better. They just assume that because they are young. They do not have the capacity in their rational thought processes yet to understand what we have just said. It is someone's opinion of them, and so they take it to heart. But because the young ones do not comprehend that it is an opinion, they turn it into a fact in their mind. And they begin creating neural pathways that reinforce what they perceive as a fact about them, which is a limiting belief. This is where it starts. And so for those of you that are around the young ones, pay attention to your words. Pay attention to your, we shall say, reactions or responses to what they are doing or saying. And because you are more aware, feel how something settles within yourself first before you say it. Because if it makes you feel bad, how do you think it would make them feel when they don't understand these concepts? Do you understand? So what we want to share with you, with this medium, is a story from childhood to help you understand this concept, because she truly was only after she turned 40, early 40s, that this memory surfaced, and she was doing the tapping. And it surfaced out of nowhere, and she released it, but she realized, wow, at 7 years old, I created a pattern that was affecting me into my 40s. And she called her father to tell her what had happened. He said, "You never told me that." She was in 2nd grade. So, this is what happened. You all learned the multiplication tables, yes? Memorize 1 times 1, 2 times 2, 5 times, all of those. She memorized, was very good at the math. So she goes to class. And the student in front of her, her classmate in front of her, the teacher asked whatever, some combination of, say it was 3 times 4, we don't remember, it is not important, what it was, and called on the child in front of her seat. And the child did not know. But she knew, and she raised her hand. I know it, let me tell you, I know it. And the teacher would not call on her. And she knew it, she was so proud she knew it, that eventually she just said it. It's this. Because the other child was just cringing. Understand? So what do you think happened? The teacher. And it happened to be in a Catholic school, but it was not a nun. It was a lay person. Just in case you have the experience of potential, similar experience. The teacher was so upset that she answered and told the answer, and because the other student could not and was getting very uncomfortable. That this medium, at 7 years old, the teacher put her under the desk in front of the teacher, in front of the class, for the rest of the class, and made her sit under the desk as a punishment for knowing something, for being correct, for being strong. Can you guess how that affected her at a young age? It was a limiting belief that standing out or speaking up gets you punished, is bad. Don't speak up. Don't speak your mind. Don't show your strength. Her rational mind did not have this ability to say, well, that was just a stupid teacher. No. That incident made her create a program in her subconscious mind to protect herself from ever being punished again by someone perceived in authority if she spoke her truth. Imagine not knowing that program was running until she was in her about 40, 41 years old. When she happened to be doing a EFT tapping meditation along with through the computer with someone else leading it, not realizing, and all of a sudden, whatever they were tapping on triggered this memory to surface. And she had an aha moment where, oh my gosh, this is where this pattern came from. Wow. And she released it. It was running her life in the background because of something perceived at the age of 7. Because an adult punished and did not explain or give her credit instead for being correct, but saying, please let the person answer for themselves. Yes, you are correct, but please do not give someone else a chance. They could have done something different, you understand, instead of punishment. And so many have had similar experiences. Perhaps some of you right now, some sort of memory is surfacing that you weren't aware of from being a child. And if something is surfacing in your memory at this time, ask us to help you release the lower energy vibrations connected to this thought pattern now. Take a deep breath. Bathe in the silver ray of compassion so that you are feeling compassion for yourself now and for all of your child experiences. For you know better than to interpret whatever happened at a child age. You only had certain, as you might call it, coping skills within your brain, within your mind at a certain age, that you only had one way to interpret it. That you weren't good enough, or you weren't whatever it is, or that something bad would happen to you if you did something that actually showed your strength. So whatever might be surfacing, and if it's not surfacing now, it may later, or you may have in your visions during your slumber. Understand that we are triggering, in a manner of speaking, helping to unlock some of these patterns this night in your subconscious mind while we speak. And so just allow them to float up to the surface as though in one of the many previous sessions there was the medium labeled it something about whatever you push down pops up, and there was a rubber ducky and a bath for the image. We are helping those little rubber duckies that have been pushed down and held down for potentially decades to surface so that you can look at them and take them out of the bath water and throw them away. You don't need to hold on to these old energies, these old thought patterns anymore, dear ones. Take a breath. Anchor in this ray of silver compassion into your heart space. And also envision inside your head. You can envision your entire body filled with silver, but especially imagine, all of you have seen some sort of anatomy for a brain. Envision all of your brain, all of the little curves and neural pathways firing, being flooded with this silver ray of compassion to flush out and flush down that grounding cord out of your space. The vibrations that have limited you from these old patterns of thought that do not serve you as you step into your power and embrace your truth and your divinity in the months and the years to come. For you are starting now to truly comprehend, as we have been speaking, that only your thoughts, your beliefs about yourself are what holds you back, or what perceived are your limitations. It is not something that someone tells you, dear ones. It is something that you have created within your brain because of experiences, usually from when you were much younger, such as what we just discussed with this medium when she was 7. And when she called her father after having this awareness and memory surfacing out of nowhere, and told her father what had happened when she was 7, his reaction was, "You never told me about that." She was 7. Do you think she would go home and tell her father that her teacher put her under a desk? No, she was embarrassed. She buried it in her subconscious mind and let it fester and grow into a limiting belief that kept repeating itself, usually in the workplace, when it came to working with others that were potentially managers or other people in authority. That was what she was actually working on, clearing, with memories from when she was an adult in one of her jobs. And all of a sudden, this memory from childhood surfaced because it was the source of the pattern. And she blew it out of her brain, neural pathways, with the tapping and released it. And so at some point, we have asked her and she has sensed it. We will do a little introduction, not on these nights, but perhaps in one of the workshops. We will see. For those of you that are not familiar with this tapping method, to clear things. You can learn it on your own and she can tell you later how. But it is very easy to learn and you can do it in your own time, your own space, and begin chiseling away whatever does not serve you as you are ready at your own pace. And you will feel the shift in your vibration. You will begin to notice that certain, we shall say, experiences or even people no longer can push your buttons, which is reactionary. Remember that how reaction is negative versus responding. You will have a different response to situations or people that used to make you react. And that is good, because then you are aware. You have evolved your level of awareness and conscious decision making about your thoughts and how you choose to feel. And so once more now, breathe in this silver ray of compassion as we complete this work with this teaching. Fill yourself with the silver and radiate it outward into your field to bathe yourself in compassion until you are a radiant ball of light. And if you had a memory surface and the people involved became into your consciousness, see them bathed in the silver as well, and forgive them, for they did the best that they could with what they knew and what their programs were, because they only did what they were taught as well. And you are learning differently now. Forgive yourself for potentially wishing that you had not reacted in such a manner, if there is some sort of self-guilt, let it go. You too did the best you could with where you were at the time, in your level of conscious awareness. You are at a higher state now, and you are making a different choice. That is all that matters. Let it go down that grounding cord now. Flush it out with the silver. And see it go down that grounding cord, and let your beautiful Earth Mother Gaia recycle it for beautiful, positive energies for healing on your world. And now once more bathe yourself in the gold for wisdom. See yourself bathing in the golden rays of your beautiful sun as we started. Fill yourself with this wisdom vibration and ask your Creator, ask your higher self to assist you as we are here to support this work for higher levels of wisdom and awareness with other limiting belief patterns that may also surface in the days and weeks to come, for we have, as you might say, scratched the surface and loosened some things up for some of you. And so understand that you are unfolding in a level of awareness. Be gentle with yourselves. Non-judgment for yourself and for those whose part in your experience, in your past, come into your mind. Focus on forgiveness and releasing. Non-judgment is key, for the judgment holds it in place just as the guilt does. The lower vibrations hold these patterns in place. Forgiveness and non-judgment, compassion, help them to release, and you raise your vibration and you raise your level of conscious awareness. And so once more, take a breath and bathe in this gold, and we shall proceed. Thank you, dear ones, for listening. The instruction portion has been completed.